Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spot Crunch with the Weekly Comic Book Roundup. We've already covered this week's Marvel books, so let's move on to this week's one title from Boom Studios and this week's DC books. Kicking things off with Something is Killing the Children, number 14. Where we left off, Erica had taken Beyond and James into her custody to protect them from the House of Slaughter. And she awoke the monster within her stuffed octopus. And apparently, after it killed her parents and a friend of hers, Erica tamed the monster and it took on a new shape. However, it's now only dangerous to Erica. So she tells the kids to lay down, and do exactly, close her eyes. And they're going to play the game of nowhere. It's a game of imagination, and the kids have to listen close to her voice. She's on a picture of some things. And, she needs them to keep picturing no matter how scared they get. So, big white space, laying down, just like as they breathe it in, room starts to turn black, breathe out, white. So, she asks James about when he first imagined the monster, and he tells her, how he used to sneak down into the living room to, use the computer to chat with his friends in the middle of the night, keep the room dark. And he said he started imagining what if he turned off the screen and there was a big face right at the window, with long nails scraping against the glass and long white teeth. Told his best friend about it, and then Beyond heard about it and then her monster takes on the form of the mother monster, and at the school gym, the other one was the House of Slaughter, preparing to basically clean up Erica's mess in the messiest way possible. They've argued with the sheriff. And Tommy's mom has found Tommy's sister and is really ready to say goodbye. Remember, the House of Slaughter basically comes in demanding phones. Yeah. Tommy gives up his, so his mom's not calling anybody. Members of the Slaughter family give them a couple of minutes to grieve. Then Erica returns her monster to the stuffed octopus, tosses it outside so that it'll call the baby monsters. And Erica tells James and Beyond not to watch, and also tells James to keep an eye on her. Back with Tommy and his mom. His mom asks if the members of the House of Slaughter are going to kill them. And basically, as if they are, she's ready. They can just do it. And Tommy apologizes to Dawn for not protecting his sister. But in 6 months, he has an idea that might get everyone out of here and get Sophie to a proper grave. So he goes outside and talks to the sheriff. Saying, they're here for cleanup. Make sure no one spreads the story of the monster in the parking lot. So he suggests that they give the House of Slaughter a better story. Back with Erica, she catches up with her monster, who claims that the baby monsters are coming and they're going to kill her. Erica's aware they're coming and tells her monster to shut up and get back into its octopus. She's got some anger to work off. So the surviving monsters show up, and yeah, she tears through them. Yeah, she takes a few hits herself, but nothing really. So, the story that Tommy comes up with is that he confesses to having killed all the kids. There wasn't a monster, it was just him. He was the monster all along. In fact, he even killed a little girl in front of everybody. You're right here in the park, right there in the parking lot. Kind of saying, hey, if all these people saw me kill that little girl, then there's nothing that needs to be covered up, right? The members of the House of Slaughter think that they're crazy. Tommy is like, yeah, you're right, I am crazy. That's why I kill all these kids. That's why I need to be locked up. But the members of the House of Slaughter don't think that's going to work, and that they have a cleaner way of handling and all of this. That is where the issue ends. Which brings us to this week's DC titles, starting with Batman Black and White #2. As this is an anthology series and completely with stories that are completely with no two stories from previous issues being connected to one another, I'm going to forgo the recap. So the first story, The Unjust Judge, by Tom King and Mitch Gerads. A church in Gotham catches fire. Batman tries to go in, notices a priest going in, and tries to rescue the priest. Catches up to him eventually, but he can't save him. And so Batman takes off his cowl and stays with the priest until he dies. Basically, kind of reaffirming to Batman that he can't save everyone. But but when the priest needed help, Batman held his hand, and that's not failure. That's enough. And so Batman carries the priest's body out of the burning church and sets it on the ground and leaves. Next up, we have a silent tale called All Cats Are Grey, which obviously focuses on Catwoman. She's just stolen a massive diamond. She's on the run. And of course, runs into Batman and gives chase. Takes the diamond. She manages to escape, but he still got the diamond. While Selina's pouting, a white cat comes along. It's snowing, by the way. Selina tries to get it to come to her, but it runs off, so she gives chase and decides why not make a white costume. So she's stolen yet another gem and in her white costume, and Batman is given chase, and she manages to hide in the snow, leaping out onto Batman and pinning him. And that's where the story ends. Next up, we've got The Spill. While chasing the Joker, an EMP goes off in Gotham, and the Batmobile crashes into the spillway, And things aren't looking good. In fact, there's a good chance that maybe Batman might end up drowning in his own car. However, when he comes to after the car falls into the spillway, it has been a little while, and the Joker has turned around and come back to him, and they have a talk. Joker has seen what's going on. A lot of the usual suspects are out looting and pillaging, burning the city. And Joker thought about joining in, but thought, no, 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 no. I want to watch Batman die. They argue about it. Batman suggests, hey, come closer. We'll find out if the spillway will hold or not together. But Joker doesn't want to do the whole we both die together thing. No. Joker wants Batman to die and for him to get to watch. And then the spillway does break and they both get washed down the river, but Batman's able to get out of the flood and bring Joker with him, and as they do, Joker simply says that Batman owes Joker getting to watch Batman die. That's where the story ends. Which brings us to Batman Duel. So apparently, Batman's nearing after the fact, someone named the White Bat has been coming along. Looks just like Bruce. His eyes, white on white. Kind of a light reflection, so to speak. He looked and acted just like Batman, but night by night, his violence escalated. He beat petty criminals to death. Started attacking people in their homes. Rounded up all the homeless in Gotham and put them in a zoo. The previous night, he went into a hospital and euthanized patients on life support, leaving bundles of cash at the scenes of his crimes, as well as a calling card, an old business card with a white bat painted on it. Alfred's managed to do some looking on it. It's a very old business card. The bat is titanium white, similar to liquid paper or whiteout. The paint layer was removed, and apparently the card belonged to a man named Ewan Bryce, who used to work for Wayne Co. Batman realizes that this is something that was a long time ago. This is Wayne that has been called Wayne Co. before Bruce was born. So Bruce is now in a bit of a duel with his doppelganger. And there's a strange airship. The White Bat crashes his jet, and dies. Which, seeing his own lifeless body, basically, is a little disconcerting for Batman. Obviously, Batman makes his way through the airship, going in the cockpit. Presumably, he does find something of a recreation of the Batcave, the control center part of it, and within it. And is that Ewan Bryce sitting at the controls? It's never made clear. That is where the story ends. Next, we have The Devil is in the Detail by David Aja. And it is done in an actual interesting style, much like old newspaper strips. Decapitated bodies have been popping up in Gotham, and Batman's investigating. The cops don't really seem that, they pay a little bit of lip service, but nothing major. Also, it appears maybe bodies are being killed as part of a satanic ritual. Another body pops up. This time, however, someone that they can't just... they actually have to truly look like the police have to actually look like they care. Batman does some research, goes to the commissioner's house. But this takes place before, in the days before Commissioner Gordon, before James Gordon was Commissioner Gordon. Back it was Captain Gordon. There are masked officers outside guarding the house, and they're well aware of what's going on. And apparently, yes, the ritual has been started by none other than the Commissioner himself. Batman deals with the cops, takes them down, and then makes his way inside, where the Commissioner is performing his ritual. The Demon Foremost. However, the Commissioner seemingly kills himself. And now Batman has nothing to go on, which is where the story ends, as well as the issue. And now, moving on to Future State Dark Detective, number 2. In the not too I don't guess too terribly distant future, Gotham City is run by has gone very anti-vigilante. There's a private army that's going after vigilantes called the Peacekeepers, or well, the Magistrate, or the Peacekeepers. They also have an automated arm, the Cybers. And Luke Fox is running around as Batman. Also running around as Batman is none other than, of course, Bruce Wayne, who is believed to be dead. And he noticed that some of his old company's tech is being used by the Magistrate. So the issue begins at Gotham Port Authority shipyard. Some thieves have busted in. They're stealing empty barrels and selling them. But some of the Cybers show up. Batman takes them down. Has a flashback to the night he was caught by Peacekeeper 01. And he's beginning to wonder, how is it that they knew to go after, the Peacekeeper knew to go after Bruce Wayne. But Bruce faces death. Waits a while. Resurfaces. Basically, wills himself back to, in some ways, kind of wills himself to, go back to, what he would normally do. He's taken some of the pieces of the Cybers, and he heads to where he's staying. He's rooming with a man named Jeff. Jeff gives him privacy, and Bruce has got himself a nice little conspiracy board, looking at the 3 different who Magistrate 01 is. Also, looking at the 3 companies that handle all of the Magistrate's tech. Later on, Batman goes to do some investigating. And ends up having to deal with a whole shit ton of Magistrate drones, some of which he takes out. One of them he notices is a micro drone. Next level spy tech about the size of a small hummingbird or a really big bee. Initially designed by Wayne Enterprises. Still in testing for the Joker War, never on the market. Lucius said that by building it, they were putting it into the world to be used for or against them, though, and he was right. And so now, Bruce realizes how it is they were able to figure things out. Micro drones. So how they get the drones. That is, of course, the next question that Batman has. And he hears a sudden crash from upstairs, and Bruce goes to investigate. Jeff's destroying his television. Because apparently the television's been watching him after all, and he destroys it, and yeah, while he's destroying, he's shot at they're watching, they're everywhere, and well, actually, Bruce Smith's he's not wrong, they are everywhere. Our backup story focuses on Red Hood, gets a mask alert for vigilante, crime of unlawful heroics. So he goes to track him down. He does so, brings him in, and it's the plan is basically stick vigilante in Blackgate Max. Maybe he'll see the Peacekeeper's way of things and join up. There's a report of a there's a new Red Hood gang robbing a supply truck. And so Red Hood goes after it. Basically starts cracking some skulls, asking questions. And then his girlfriend, Rose Wilson, Ravager, shows up. I use the word girlfriend very loosely here. They're definitely an item, a couple of some type, but yeah. So, they're butting heads about the whole thing. Apparently, she also is hunting heroes for the magistrate, only she brings them back in body bags. But he explains what he's done, and so he goes to the soup kitchen, having taken the phone off one of the unconscious thugs, makes a call with it, finds the Red Hood, the leader of the Red Hood gang, chases after him, offers to help him, but Rose slices him in half with her sword, and it turns out that the Red Hood mask the guy's wearing is actually modified with Mad Hatter tech. Apparently, Ravager, however, does know where the Mad Hatter's last hideout was. The Wonderland Putt-Putt. So they head in, make their way deeper and deeper, and they find the Red Hood. Or, well, what's left of him is he's a rotted skeleton still in his costume, who's been shot in the head. However, then there's a mask, at least Jason gets a mask alert for himself. Which is where the issue ends. Which brings us to our next title. Future State, Legion of Superheroes, numero uno. So the issue begins. One of the Legionnaires is going through the ruins of planet Gotham and comes upon Shadowlass. Shadowlass is not interested in reforming the Legion and fires on the other Legionnaire. Then Brainiac and Saturn Girl show up. I'm trying to figure out which Legionnaire it was that initially contacted her. But they decided they've got to find Chameleon Boy. Also, they brought Colossal Boy for protection, who he had to fight the Hurrahs, who followed them. So, on Daxam, which home of what is left of the Legion of the United Planets, Cosmic Boy is asking Chameleon Boy questions about former member of the Legion of Superheroes, Element Lad. Apparently, though, Killing Boy doesn't know where he is. On Winath, we learned there has been a catastrophe and people have been empowered. Triplicate Girl shows up to talk to some of the empowered. They are actually these empowered. They kind of see Element Lad as a hero, but Triplicate Girl splits into two, takes on the empowered, and is actually wipes the floor with them. She does get some backup in the form of Block, but it's explained that one of the three has been lost. So now she's only two, a duo, not a trio. But more of the Legionnaires team up together. In the Kolu Quadrant, Bouncing Boy is fighting the Science Police, it would seem, while Brainiac's trying to get in touch with him. He's very much kind of saying, yeah, Brainiac, piss off. The Science Police are trying to tell him to, give up. Elsewhere, however, Lightning Lad and Lightning Lass have been captured by none other than Element Lad. And so the rest of the Legion shows up to save Lightning Lad and Lightning Lass and to, take down Element Lad. And that is where the issue ends. Be the grand fight between the Element Lad and the Legion, presumably. Next up, we've got Strange Adventures number 8. Where we left off, the war between Rand and the Picts was heating up, and Adam Strange had actually been captured by the Picts and tortured by them. Presently on Earth, the Picts appeared to be beginning their invasion of the planet, and the Justice League was doing what they could to stave it off. Which it's happening, and we see Dr. Fate fighting them off, Green Lantern, Green Arrow, Wonder Woman, Superman, Batman. We also, in the past, we see Adam returning to his people, and I'm just like, no, hey, I am Adam Strange, I am alive. The Flash is told to go to Phoenix to help because there's a gap. Upon getting there, however, there's a gap. Batman explains there's a gap formed in our defenses, not theirs. Phoenix is lost. Apparently, running and counting. Flash out at least 37,988 dead. Back on Rand in the past, Adam and Alana are arguing mainly because, sure, Adam's been back for a while, but he hadn't really gone to see his daughter at all. On Earth, Mr. discovers a crashed Pict cruiser, gets aboard, fights off some of the Picts, and is then found by Batman. Back in the past, Adam goes to visit his daughter, who's playing war. She's got one rock that represents him, and another whole bunch of rocks that represent the Picts. And Adam's looking at it and says, it kind of looks a little unfair, but Aaliyah says that she knows, and she couldn't find any more bad guy looking rocks to put on their side. And but Aaliyah suggests they go camping because, but Adam gets called away. In the present, apparently his father-in-law has need of Adam's help for a delicate matter. Back in the present, Batman is interrogating the picked prisoner they have, who basically says, kill your children, feast on your women, bring fire to your cities, and dance the smoke of your dead. In the past, on Ran, Adam's father-in-law, goes over every, like, hey, they've captured a Pict, but, however, Adam pulls his pistol out and shoots and obliterates the Pict's head. But during the interrogation of the Pict prisoner, it's claimed that Picts didn't attack Ran. The Picts were defending themselves against Iranians, and what happened was wasn't so much a war, but a genocide. And that genocide was perpetrated by none other than Adam Strange. Back on Ran, Adam and his daughter go out camping. Aaliyah's told, if the Zeta beam wears off and Adam disappears, well, Aaliyah's to call her mother immediately, so she's not out there all alone. As they will go out into Ran, Adam and his daughter confess their love for one another, while in the present, Adam's sits in a refrigerated room full of dead Picts. And that is where the issue ends. Which brings us to our final book of the week. Joker Harley Criminal Sanity, number 7. Where we'd left off, the Joker had apparently been captured. As he was being interrogated by Harley, the power went out. So some of the members of the GCP are watching from within. Joker comments that they must really care about her, if must be really worried about her. But Harley figured out who he is. He asks what she thought about his latest piece at the Science Center. She wasn't impressed. So she straight up asks, why change in victimology when Joker killed her roommate. He explains it wasn't personal. She was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time. Harley remembers finding her roommate dead. Then the power comes back on. And eventually, after a little bit of inner debate, Harley tells Gordon to let the guy go. Not let him go because he's not their guy. However, he has stolen the shield of one of Gotham's finest. Harley follows, trying to see where he's going. Apparently he needs a transformer of higher voltage. And apparently he also captured Joey Casameni and gets a call. Harley gets a call from Gordon while trying to find Joker. Apparently he bought some chemicals off the Russian, pulled a gun on him. Harley's still trying to find him. We get more flashbacks now 5 years ago when before Joker was Joker. And when he decided to, and while reading a book on emergency surgery, opts to elevate his work. There's mention of a concert occurring. Then there's now apparently there's a missing transformer, but the signal from the Gotham News Service or from the news channel gets interrupted to show apparently Joker's made a Tesla coil, and Casamenti and the Russian are fried with it. Harley meets up with the GCPD there. They realize that the concert is likely going to be another major target. Also, Joker hires the assistance of someone to dress up as a cop, since he has a badge, and a ticket is to the upcoming concert is delivered to Harley. Meanwhile, Joker is mixing a couple of chemicals he bought from the Russian together presumably to make a rather violent explosive. And that is where the issue ends. That is it for this week's roundup. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, and PayPal be found in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off, saying live long and rock hard.